This just in, breaking news, our top story tonight. Well-known LA high-stakes player Nik Airball loses $750,000 on just a single stream. Somehow his opponents were able to deduce that the guy was bluffing in a lot of hands. I wonder how they did that. There is no way to tell. Also tonight, YouTube has confiscated all revenue on videos that use this breaking news song. Nice try, YouTube. You simply think I'm gonna give away using my favorite song for breaking news just to make $300 a day? You're gonna have to do that over my cold, dead. In other news, well-known poker YouTuber sells out as he decides it's worth more to make $300 a video than put his best content out there. His last words were, quote, "I'd sell my soul for a dime unless you happen to have a nickel on you." And finally tonight, one of the two owners of Hustler Casino Live, Nick Vertucci, has announced that Live at the Bike will be no more. Here today, we have an official statement from Live at the Bike that we're going to be reading to you. If they do decide to move, well, the name of the show might get a little bit weird. Doesn't have a great ring to it. All of this and more tonight on Poker News. Before we get going here today, I want to let you guys know there is going to be a $2 million guaranteed tournament at the Lodge. It's a $3,000 buy-in with a $2 million guarantee. Last year, we fell about $300,000 short of that guarantee. And this year, I'm hoping that doesn't happen, so I'm advertising it in the start of my videos. Please help save us from that happening again. In all seriousness, we have a lot of awesome events coming up for you, and it should be a great one. I would say the tournament was very, very soft compared to a lot of the fields you might find out in Vegas. So if you want a great value $3,000 tournament, head on out to the Lodge. I'll be playing, and I'll see you there. Okay, moving on to our top story tonight. Nik Airball punted off huge in one of the recent episodes of Hustler Casino Live. He lost about $750,000, with the main winner in that game being Rampage. You guys probably know him from some of his vlogs he posts here on YouTube. And also Stanley Choi got a decent sized chunk. This is a pretty big loss, guys. Now, when a game is straddled up to $800, it's actually not that uncommon to lose several $100,000. 100 big blinds when there's an $800 straddle on is really just $80,000. So easy to imagine losing 400 or 500 big blinds in just a single session. But this is a much bigger number. This is something more in the tune of 900 big blinds. And it's kind of tough to lose that many big blinds without some kind of hyper cooler or a lot of punting. And there was not a hyper cooler.
What a punt.
That is about as perfect a punt as you will see. And it got the great bounce. Saved by Eckler. How about that?
If you guys want to watch more of that stream, I'll put a link in the description below so you can check it out. But back to the story here. Nik Airball is an interesting character. He obviously came out and played on the Lodge live stream. He buys in really, really, really deep. In fact, I think he bought in for the most money of any player that we had at the Lodge, buying in for $700,000 in the game that we played. And he always has a massive stack when he's playing at Hustler. There are many questions about what his background is. We actually saw a post on Reddit where someone found an old accounting video of him before he started playing a lot of poker. Hard to imagine that that was Nik Airball at one point, assuming that is him. I do believe it is him. We got to give a little credit where credit is due, though. To be able to play on a live stream and lose that much money and seem to be in at least okay spirits afterwards, and I would assume being willing to continue to play large stakes afterwards, it takes a lot of guts, and I think it's something that a lot of players want to see. One of the reasons people like tuning into live streams to watch poker is that people like the drama. They like to say how much they hate drama, but then tune in to see what's going on with the drama. That's the way people are. It's just simply the truth. We can't just talk about the session without talking about Rampage's huge win. It seems like Rampage is unstoppable. He's on some kind of path that everyone gets torn up in front of him because he's just going crazy. I don't know what the word is for it, but he's certainly on one. He's been mashing up tournaments. He's been mashing up cash streams. The guy is on a crushing streak right now, and he's been building his YouTube audience as he does it. Definitely a person to look up to for upcoming poker players and how to try and do things the right way. Build your audience, play good poker, find good games, and keep booking those wins. Oh, and run hot. I think running hot's a pretty important element as well. After this win, he should have about $600,000 on winnings at the Hustler Casino live stream. And he's also got $1.8 million in tournament cashes, with almost all of it coming in the last couple of years. And really the big scores happening last year, including an almost $900,000 win in a $25K at the World Poker Tour at the Wynn. A win at the Wynn. How about that? If I have anything negative to say about Ethan, I would say probably don't post pictures of you sitting on $800,000 in chips at your house. Just seems like a liability. And this is a good piece of information for all you guys who, even if you play small stakes, try to find places to keep your money that aren't at your house so you don't have a liability. You want them in places where you can't get robbed or people can't think you have that money. Realistically, you do not want to be able to access that stuff so easily. It will make you a target. And if you do have to hold it, probably don't post about it on social media. One last note about this session, I do have to give Airball some credit. I see a lot of people when they sit down, they have a huge stack. They're really not willing to put their money in without the nuts. I think that's actually one of the bigger spots in live poker. If you're going to play deep, you have to be ready to put every last chip in on a bluff or every last chip in with an appropriate call that you don't love to make. If you are not willing to do that, then buy in shorter. I know people like to stunt on everyone, show their money, show what's up. But if you're going to play nitty on a shorter stack because it's going to be way less bad for you. Or if you're willing to bluff for like 50,000, but not for 200,000, then buy in for 50,000. There's no reason to have to buy in super, super, super deep unless you're willing to put your chips in. And no matter what you want to say about Airball in terms of how he played last night, the guy is definitely willing to put his chips in behind. Brief story here, but I saw this article on Poker News. Why is one of the world's best poker players selling his Las Vegas house? Question mark. And it shows a 500K-ish house that Hellmuth is selling in Las Vegas. Now, as funny as it is to see someone selling their house because, oh, they're broke, they need the money, there is simply no chance that's the case here. Hellmuth just has a place at Aria and he lives in California, so it's just unnecessary for him to have this property. People sell properties all the time. In fact, I heard Airball just put something up in the LA area for no reason related to poker. That was a joke, by the way. As for the home, seems like a decent middle-class home, but I can only imagine what the walls look like in there after some of those beats at the WSOP. I do like the article concludes with, for those interesting, contact Jet at this phone number to schedule a private showing. So let me get this straight. If you're well known enough in poker and you want to sell your house, you just post about it on Poker News. I should have done that when I moved. Moving on, let's talk about this story that broke the other day. Nick Vertucci posted a short video over on his channel where he basically said that Live at the Bike isn't going to be at the Bike anymore. And in fact, he heard that they are moving over to the Commerce Casino. He proposes a lot of questions in here, like what are they going to name the show? He talks about, he isn't maybe 100% sure, but he has a source. And if the source is wrong, it's egg on his face. But he seems fairly confident about the fact that they are in fact changing locations. If that's true, that's a pretty huge moment in the poker live streaming space. We have so many great options right now, guys, that you're definitely spoiled. And if people say, oh, I'm not watching the live stream because I'm watching Poker Go or Hustler or Bike or whatever, I get it. I mean, you have a lot of awesome options to choose from. And so everyone's got to try and step up their game to compete in that environment. I think overall it's great for the poker viewer because simply put, you get way more great choices to select from. I mean, think about poker today compared to 5-10 years ago. It's just really night and day, the difference between what your options are. For a very long time when it came to poker streaming, Live at the Bike was kind of your main option, right? You could watch the WSOP in the summer, and then obviously Poker Go has kind of come up over the last 7-8 years or so, but realistically, for free poker content, Live at the Bike was the main go-to. It's been a staple of the streaming space. A couple of years ago, I know that Feldman and the Bike split ways and Feldman started Hustler, but realistically, the Live at the Bike is the oldest running live stream to my knowledge and certainly one of the most popular. I know things have been a little bad for them in terms of online viewership. In the last couple of years, they were bought out by Bally's and they've changed the look of the show and focused a little bit more on TV. But this is still quite a moment in the streaming space for the longest running stream, to my knowledge, changing locations if true. A lot of caveats on that. I was given here a specific statement by Live at the Bike to read, and I was told verbatim. So this is directly from Live at the Bike to you. While we appreciate the attention from our fellow Los Angeles livestream, we were somewhat surprised by the topic of Nik's announcement, considering he is banned from the Commerce Casino. As it relates to juicy poker industry gossip that can be confirmed at this time, Nik failed to mention the launch of our new Las Vegas Strip show, premiering this summer from the legendary Tropicana Casino. Our presence in the LA market and beyond only continues to grow as we expand our broadcast in a number of exciting ways thanks to the support of our amazing fans. Stay tuned for more official updates coming soon. Okay, great statement there. Lot to unpack. First off, I really enjoyed taking a little bang back at Nick Vertucci right out of the gate there with the fact he is banned from the Commerce. Now, I don't know why Vertucci is banned from the Commerce, but it is sort of funny that he is banned from the location they're moving to, and it is one of the largest card rooms in the world. As for their new show moving over to the Tropicana Casino, I'm kind of interested in what they're doing with that. Are they going to have an LA and a Vegas show, 2 shows running at the same time? Are they going to alternate? Are they moving it there? Kind of unclear exactly what that means, but it does mean there will be a new show in Las Vegas at the Tropicana. And by the way, guys, this is not the first time that Tropicana has really tried to get in the mix on poker. Or was it the Flamingo? I forget now, but I do remember Jamie Gold opening a poker room where he was going to be the ambassador. Yes, it was. This article, Card Player Lifestyle, Las Vegas Poker Room's new spokesman, Jamie Gold. 12 years ago, Jamie Gold, after winning the main event, decided to open, or rather become the spokesman for Las Vegas Poker Room's new spokesman, Jamie Gold, at the Tropicana. I actually remember, this is going to be a little bit of a story time for me, and you may have heard this before, but I'll go ahead and tell it again. Basically, when this room first opened, I remember I was playing 510 at the time around Vegas, so I went to go play and check it out. Jamie Gold sat next to me in this 510 game. We're playing poker, Jamie's talking away, and then he starts talking about some delicious tequila. I can't remember the name. He says, you have to try this tequila. It's an amazing tequila. And it was like 4 o'clock or something. And I said, oh, I'm good right now. I'm just focusing on poker, right? I'm trying to be a poker pro. I'm trying to play and come up in the game. He goes, no. You have to have it. I say, I'm good. He's like, I'm ordering 2. He says, waitress, we'll take 2 of the tequilas. And he names the tequila. She goes, oh, you want that one? It's like a high-end nice one. He says, yeah, 2 of them. It's the best. So the waitress leaves, and the waitress comes back with 2 shots of this super high-end expensive tequila. They give one to each of us. He says, cheers, and I take a shot. It's good. I'm not a big tequila guy, but whatever. It's pretty good. And then the waitress goes, so yours is comped, and yours is going to be $100. I said, $100? And she says, yeah, $100. I'm like, Jamie, aren't these comped? And he's like, sorry, man. It just, they're only going to comp mine. So I was forced into taking a $100 shot of tequila at 4 p.m. with Jamie Gold and had to pay the tab. 10 big blinds. I'm never getting back. Anyway, putting story time to the side, the Tropicana has certainly wanted to play a role in poker for a while. They've flirted with the idea. And I think some of these non-super A-list casinos on the Strip, they try and find ways to bring people in that might not be the traditional paths because they want to compete in a way that lets them build up some traffic on the fringes. This is a great example of that. And if successful, I think that it would be a great move for the Tropicana. The question is going to be, can they build up that audience? And what does the TV deal end up looking like? Where are those shows aired? It's kind of a lot of question marks at this point, but it certainly could be a good move. I don't know what's going to happen from here. The fact that the bike didn't address the commerce thing makes me think it's probably pending, possibly true. I don't know. But they did not say that they're staying at the bike. And they did not say they're leaving, and they did not say anything about the commerce other than the fact that Nik is banned. So my take here is probably that Live at the Bike is expanding to a couple of locations, and it likely will move to probably the commerce or maybe somewhere else. We really simply don't know, guys. I'm just speculating at this point. I do want to say thank you to the bike, though, for giving me this official statement that I could read to you. That's going to be it for me, guys. I actually have to head down to the lodge right now to play a poker session with Masato, the Japanese vloggers in town. We're going to be playing some poker. We played last week. We're playing again right now. So I got to run. Thank you guys for joining me today for poker news, and I'll see you again soon. Peace. I'll put a link in the description for that stream, by the way. It should be done by the time this video posts.